So how long is it going to take to become profitable in trading? Some people can do it in 6 to 8 months. Some people can do it maybe less. Some people, it takes them a few years. Some people, it takes them 5 to 6, 7 years. And personally, in my opinion, there's no timeline you can give yourself really. It's not something that you can just say, oh, I'm going to be profitable next year or I'm going to be profitable in 6 months. It's not really how it works. I'm sure most of you guys watching this already know that. We'll see in the comments if anybody agrees with me or disagrees, but really, in my opinion, you become profitable as soon as you can stick to a single strategy, follow your rules every single day, figure out your errors and eliminate your errors. And as soon as you do that, you should be profitable. If you've done all those things and you're not profitable yet, you have a risk management problem or your strategy has just absolutely no edge and you're most likely not even trading a system. So it's really as simple as that. And you guys can let me know if you agree or disagree. That's essentially what I believe it takes to become profitable. And honestly, that's probably why you see so many people give up too soon or that just can't even make it at all because they fail to eliminate their bad behavior. They fail to approach the market consistently with maturity every single day. And they fail to stick to a system. They fail to stick to a process that leaves them being unprofitable. And eventually, this is one of those industries where you literally do have to basically eat shit until you figure it out. It's like just like any other industry at the same time is like that. But with trading, it definitely is just like a shot at your ego, or it can be a shot at your ego every single time you take a loss. And genuinely, a lot of people cannot handle prolonged periods of time of just getting shit on pretty much or being inconsistent, and they essentially just end up waving the white flag, and that's just how it ends up going for some people. And it's sad to say, but that's the reality. And honestly, it's just like every other business. Like I said, if you want to start drop shipping, if you want to start Amazon FBA, if literally any business you can think of, there's a large amount of people who they don't see success in the first couple months, first 6 months, maybe even a year. And what do? They give up, especially in my generation and the younger generations. Everybody's attention span is so fucked. Like, nobody can focus on anything. A lot of people can't even watch a 10-minute video, let alone a 3-minute video with full focus. And it's all about the instant gratification. They don't understand that subconsciously they're hunting dopamine. If they don't get it from one thing, they're going to get it from another thing. Ultimately, it just leads to a lot of people giving up. All the best traders that I look up to, that I want to be like, they all say the same thing. It took them a few years basically to figure out their strategy and figure out the errors that they make and eliminate them. And that's as soon as the profit starts coming. That's as soon as you're able to start taking money out of the market every single day or on a monthly basis, obviously a profitable month. Another thing too with that is that a lot of people, they literally cannot take having their ego just ripped to shreds over and over again, and they don't even self-reflect. Like, they don't even look in the mirror and say, okay, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? And they aren't even able to admit that they are the reason for their own failures or downfalls. And I think that is also something that's a little bit more prominent in my generation and the younger generations. Is it seems like a lot of people have a huge ego, and that's fine. You definitely need an ego, and everybody has an ego to a certain degree. Some people have a super strong ego versus other people that have less of an ego and maybe are able to self-reflect a little bit more. But to be completely honest with you guys, I mean, there's tons of kids out here and tons of people in general that are just simply not even journaling their trades. They're not even trying to figure out what they did wrong. It's always an external factor. It's always they're putting the blame on other things. Maybe it's the market conditions, maybe it's this or that, and they blame everything but themselves. So what ends up happening to those people is they're hopping strategies, nothing's working. They're failing to look in the mirror and understand that they are probably the reason why they can't make anything work. I would say in the trading business, self-reflection arguably is the business where you need to be able to self-reflect the most. So, like, obviously, comparing it to other business models, comparing it to other things, trading requires more honesty and self-reflection than everything else in my opinion. I don't know any other business model. I don't know any other way you would do business where it requires the amount of self-reflection as trading does. Possibly sales, but the amount of self-reflection and honesty and just being able to be real with yourself and look at your data for what it is and understand the things you do right and wrong, it's like no other industry at all. So like you guys have heard the failure rate a million times. It's like 95% of traders don't make it. And it's like a huge number, a huge percentage of that number, people just straight up give up. And I would be willing to bet that the number of people who keep going for years and years that literally don't make it at all is probably pretty small. I don't know what it exactly is. I don't know if there's a statistic on that, but I'd be willing to bet that the people who end up giving up is substantially higher than that number. Substantially. So a lot of people come into this industry, this business, and they expect to be profitable within 3 months or 6 months. And you may expect that, but if you're not taking the actions and taking the steps every single day to meet that metric, it's definitely doable. Like, I honestly think that that is achievable, being profitable in 6 months. But what would it take to become profitable in 6 months? It would take you fully mastering a strategy. That's honestly the easy part, in my opinion. Mastering your strategy, knowing exactly what you want to see every single day, where you want to see it, how to approach the market every single day, understanding conditions, understanding what the session could offer you. You have that, and then you have the execution. Honestly, that is the hard part. That's why it's like, in my opinion, courses are so, the value isn't in trading courses anymore. There's so much information out there, there's so much free information. There's a million courses you could buy, and you can give someone a course and you could tell them exactly how to trade, but they're not going to be able to execute it if they are making bad decisions and if they're not reflecting on the bad decisions and actually changing their behavior. There's just absolutely no way they're going to succeed over the long term. I've kind of mentioned that in my last video where I was talking about the Italians, Fabio and Andrea, and how their mentor was, or at least one of the people they got mentored by was very heavily training people with their psychology and understanding their personality and how they can use it to their advantage, and at least, and also knowing their weaknesses and being able to avoid their weaknesses. That's why with trading there's no timeline you should ever expect yourself to be profitable by. You should expect yourself to be profitable as soon as you can approach the market with maturity every single day, stick to a process, stick to a system, only trade that system, and make high quality trades based on high quality thesis that develop during the session or whatever you're trading. So if you're doing all of those things every single day and you're eliminating your bad behavior permanently and you're sticking to a system, everything I just said, there's really no reason why you shouldn't be profitable. At that point, the only reason why you're not profitable is your system is bad or your risk to reward is just completely fucked, and like that's on you. It's funny, like you get a bunch of kids, like even personally that I know in real life, that'll hit me up, they'll be like, yo, let me dip my toes in. Can you put me on? Can you teach me how to trade? I'm like, bro, like I promise you are not ready if you are telling me you want to dip your toes in. Like, there is no dipping your toes. This is not something you can study for a few hours on the weekend and then it just like clicks and you're good. Like, it's not like that at all. It's literally obsession. The only way to make it is by obsessing every single day and refining and tweaking and improving every single day. And there is literally no chance in hell that anyone that says, I want to dip my toes in is going to make it. It truly is probably the most, how do I say this? There's probably no other industry where you have to have a type of obsession like you do in trading. And that's just like, again, you guys can disagree with me in the comments if you want, but like, of course, every business venture that you ever try, you're going to need to be obsessed with it to a certain degree. But for trading, like, even to just make it in trading, like you need to be absolutely dialed, completely obsessed, like obsessed in the sense of knowing the ins and outs of your strategy and your process to a degree that is at the highest level you can be at, and not even just knowing what you're supposed to do every day, but obsessive with your execution and obsessive with your data tracking and obsessive with journaling and your reflection. There's just not a chance in hell you're gonna make it without that. So it's like if you are someone who's watching this and you're not tracking your data and you're not looking in the mirror and acknowledging that your errors most of the time are probably due to your decision making and not external factors, no chance you make it. No chance you make it, especially not in 6 months to a year. Everybody has a completely different timeline because it takes everybody a different amount of time to do all the things that I've said a few times already, which is once again sticking to the strategy, having the process every single day, doing the same thing, same approach, and tweaking and refining. If you're not doing all of those things, then genuinely just give up because you're gonna end up wasting your time and probably wasting some money as well, like a good amount of money probably. But if you are one of those people that's able to leave your ego at the door and self-reflect and follow a process and follow a strategy and only do those things, I have no doubt that you will become profitable and you will make a lot of money in trading. That's the recipe for success.